Thanks, Noel. Thank you, choir. I know now, standing up here after that song, no matter what happens, I am blessed. And I'm a child of God. If we all own that every day, how awesome would it be? Right? Simple, fun, goofy, powerful. So we've been working on Easy Steps for Christ Consciousness is the series this day, or this month. And then we throw out a word like commitment, right? How do you guys feel about that word? Little Eeyore? It's true. I think it is true for most of us, and in this culture, this country we are in. Commitment has a heavy connotation to it, right? So the first thing I want to do is kind of look at commitment. And if we get a little heady and what's the word? A little mental today, just bear with me. We'll get through it. But I want to look at the word commitment and the definitions we give it. So I'm just going to read. This is off Google, which is out of the Oxford Dictionary. And I wrote it down so I could be accurate. First definition, state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, activity, etc. A state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, activity, etc. The second definition, an engagement or obligation that results, this is written, an engagement or an obligation that restricts freedom of action. That is written definition of commitment. We, I think, at large, take these two and combine them into our definition of commitment. So I think we have historically taken this state or quality of being dedicated, obligation that restricts freedom, and we've melded them together. The way I would like us to, from here on forward, if we can, look at the engagement or obligation that restricts freedom. That's your calendar. It's not your commitment. That's the birthday party you got to go to, right? That's not your commitment. That's a calendar commitment. Get that restricts freedom of action out of there, because true commitments do not do that. They don't. True commitments come from a lot of places, but the ones that really drive us into spiritual enlightenment and into Christ consciousness are going to come from our heart, and they're going to color our world. They're not going to restrict our freedom. They're going to color our world through our thoughts and through our actions. And that repetitive nature of that becomes the commitment. It's not, I'm committed to A, therefore I can no longer do Y. It's, I'm committed to A, and I'm going to do Y differently. That's commitment. Being restricted because of a calendar or because of something we've said we were going to do is not really commitment. It's a way to modify behavior, but that's all it is. It's not a commitment. So if we can start today and get that restriction of freedom aspect out of commitment, I think we can have a much healthier relationship with commitment. Agreed?
Yes.
Willing to try to take that part of it out of it? Because I think we all have it. I can only speak for myself, but I think I've been kind of raised in a free thought kind of community, and I still have it. That commitment is heavy. We think of commitment as heavy. We think of it as long-lasting, overpowering, gonna tell us what to do because we've committed to something. And I just want to change, at least open the door to think about it differently. So we'll start there. Take that freedom of action restriction off of it, please. Please. So as we go through, for today, we're going to look at commitment. Commitment, no matter where it starts, because I do think it can start different places. Commitment ultimately is your thoughts and your actions repetitive at the base level of commitment. And I'm setting this up because I think we grab commitments from places we don't want to grab commitments. Our thoughts and our actions that become repetitive become our commitments. Where we are trying to take this is back to us. We are trying to take our Christ and make it the lead. That's all what we're all doing. We're all here trying to do that. So we need to take first an inventory of how our commitments are being made. And it's that repetitive thought and repetitive action. Those are the things we are committing to. So let me give you two options here. If we stand there, we look at the two types, not types, they're not types, the two ways we choose commitments. And choose may not be the right word. The two ways we establish commitments for ourselves. We do it, I think, very limitedly, but I think we do it consciously. Those are the commitments that they well up within us. They come to our heart. We say, I'm going to commit to this. And a lot of this is, I'm going to commit to my spiritual education. So we get it from our heart. And then our thoughts start thinking about, all right, I'm going to take the classes. I'm going to do this or whatever. Then my action, I'm going to take the class. And then I go to class again. And then I go to class again. That's a commitment to your spiritual education. That whole cycle changes. Thoughts become easier to change. Heart opens up. It all helps each other, right? And we start that cycle of that commitment. And then we go and we go and we go, right? There's another way we get commitments. It's the really fun way that screws us up a lot. We commit to a lot of things unconsciously. I believe so. We commit to things unconsciously. We commit to things based off of our thoughts and our actions and our repetitive nature of that. We make commitments to things that we do not choose. And those are the commitments that beat us up. Those are the commitments we hate. Those are the commitments we get mad at people. Why do you keep asking me to do this? Because you made a commitment unconsciously. I'll give you an example. I'm not that seasoned, so, but I've made a couple powerful commitments in my life, especially in my 20s and early college age or whatever, maybe late high school. I made a conscious, for real, this is real, not just blowing smoke. I made a conscious decision to show up and come to church. That's the only commitment I made, right? Because you're at that time in your life where other things are important, right? You're exploring other worlds, other aspects of your world. You're getting freedom. You don't have to do what mommy and daddy say all the time. But I said, I'm going to come to church no matter what. It was my commitment. I didn't say it out loud. I didn't say it from the pulpit. I just said it here, right? Because I knew that this place was cool to me, and I wanted to support it, and I knew it would support me. And I've always been called my whole life. I never once, which I think is unique, never once didn't think I wasn't going to go to church, no matter how mad I was at anybody. So I made that commitment just to show up. That's the only commitment I made, consciously made that commitment. And I show up, right? My thought is I'm going to go, and I just show up, and that's all I do. I show up, but I show up no matter what. That was a conscious commitment I made. I didn't say I was going to take classes. I didn't say I was going to plant trees. I didn't say I was going to do all these things. I just said I'm going to show up. And through showing up, all these other opportunities have come around. And my commitment has still remained very similar. It has changed a little bit. I've consciously changed it because I've come and said, all right, now I'm not just going to show up. Now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to do this. All these other opportunities have come by and supported my commitment. And it has been relatively easy. It has been relatively easy for me to show up, for me to have opportunities that support my spiritual growth, and for me to find a way to plug in and help and be helped. It is a conscious commitment of just showing up. That's how simple it is. That's why I think commitment is an easy step if we get away from the big scaries. That's a conscious commitment. Same time period of my life. Looking back, I can see it may have been an unconscious commitment. But I committed to having fun. For whatever reason, I never sat down and said, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to drink beer. I'm going to go to bars. I'm going to go on trips. I never committed to all that. But the social cues, the exterior congrats, the expectations of others, those things that made me feel good, made my ego flourish, really fed me what I do, my thoughts and my actions started a commitment down that train, but I did it unconsciously. And I was very committed to it. Very committed to it. And I would have fun, and I would go to church. For 15 years, I worked. I was not committed. So consciously or unconsciously. It wasn't one of my big commitments. My big commitments was showing up here, even if I was fighting sleep. I'm serious. I'm joking. That just put my feet in the doors made such a difference. Because it was that, it never left. And then my unconscious commitment of making everybody else around me happy, all my buddies, making sure we all had beer and all that good stuff. Everybody was having a good time. That unconscious commitment was just as powerful. And I did two things for 10 years really well. I chose one of them consciously and I chose one of them unconsciously. But they're both commitments. Do you see what I'm saying? So we get our commitments. My point of that is the commitments that we choose consciously are not the ones that we get mad at. We may get mad in them, but we don't get mad at them. The ones we are given from the world that we pick up for no reason, other than because of whatever, our ego made us feel better, or our standing in life is better, or blah, blah, blah. Those are the ones that screw us up. I bet everybody in here, I could probably, I may be wrong, but I would say 90% of people in this room, their first unconscious commitment was to money. Think about it. Thoughts, actions, repetitive nature of both of them. Who in here does not have a commitment with money? Raise your hand if you do not have a commitment to money. Dave does not have a commitment to money. You don't think about money, you don't do things in order to produce money. That's on some level. May not be unhealthy, but it's there. It's an American commitment. We are in a capitalist society. So, did we choose it? Are we committed to money? Or are we committed to doing what we want to do and money's the byproduct? Does that make sense? We want to really take a mirror to what we're committed to and why we're committed to it. Did we choose it or did we pick it up accidentally? All right? Another one thing we do, we kind of, Cindy was talking about this with intention. Our intention gets hijacked. I think our commitments get derailed. Our commitments will get derailed. How many people, so say you commit, I'll just tell you my story. I could get a job, right? And the last employer I've worked with for almost 10 years, and when I got the job, instead of just having to be another job in between my two other commitments, because that's the way the 20s rolled, my commitment to money was less important than my other two commitments. But instead of that being the experience, I committed to, I want to work for somebody and be an asset to the team and really be valuable. That was my commitment. Yes, I want to get paid. Obviously, I want to get paid as part of the system. But my commitment was I want to be a valuable asset, like for real, not just on my resume. I want to be good. But I want to be a valuable asset. So right now, fast forward, there's been many times, but this one stood out. My thoughts and my, I'd say past 6 months to a year, I've done really well for myself at that place, and I've won a lot. It's a competitive business. It's macho man stuff, and I've been on top of whatever pile there is. There's many piles. I've been on top of them a lot. So I found myself and my thoughts being just about one thing. And my actions in work became just about winning and just about being on top. not about being a great asset to the company. When I win, it's a great asset. But winning doesn't mean that I'm a great asset. Does that make sense? And my thoughts and stuff started changing a little bit. And I would get mad when I didn't win. And I never used to before. So I started creating this new commitment. My original commitment started to change because of the repetitive nature of my thoughts and my actions. So luckily, I had to speak on this service today, so maybe this is just for me. So if it is, just bear with me. We'll be out of here in a minute. I'm able to say, wait a minute, why my thoughts and my things are changing, my commitment's changing. I don't want my commitment to change. I want to still be a great asset. Winning comes with that, but allowing other people to win too comes with that. Teaching other people how to win comes with that. Think of it as just logically, if you're my boss, wouldn't you want me to win, but also teach the people next to me how to win instead of just me? So it's that ability to pay attention to our commitments is all I'm saying with both of these things. Another person I work with, likes to say, God, family, work, right? For some reason, he doesn't put football in there. I don't understand, but it's not my list. So, but basically, you've heard guys say order of importance, right? It's basically they're stating their commitments, their conscious commitments. God, family, work. And he says, sometimes it looks like I prioritize work over family. He says, no, I'm the sole breadwinner of my family. Sometimes my family needs me to work more. That's being true to the commitment, right? He says, sometimes you think I need to work. I will negate my family to work. No, I'm the only one that makes money. Sometimes I need to stay at work, and then you got to figure it out because it's still the same commitment. And I thought that was so powerful that he's that clear in it. That he doesn't feel bad about going. He doesn't get mad at it because he knows his commitments. He's got a mirror. That's the biggest thing. Like another one of derailing, like work's easy, relationships. So we're committed to. I'm going to try to delve into the little emotional aspect of it. If it's our thoughts and our actions, repetitive nature of both of them, sometimes we go into, we say we're going to come to church, right? It's our spiritual longing. We go to church. And I've seen this happen a bunch here because it just has, and it happens in every church. The commitment at the beginning was to come for spiritual growth, enlightenment, and somewhere along the way, it changes to social commitment. And when that happens is when we get off of our original commitment and we're not able to catch it and readjust, then the things that are social become effective to us and to how we feel. Our commitment has shifted through our thoughts and actions, repetitive nature of both of them. Therefore, then that social aspect of this is very powerful to us. So then when somebody does hurt our feelings, we leave. Because our commitment has been derailed. We do it with work. I'm going to commit to this job. And it derails a little bit. I'm committed to my boss. And it derails a little bit. I'm committed to money. Next thing you know, I'm mad at everything. Because I still feel obligated. And I don't know why the job I used to love, I now hate. Because I never checked back in on my commitment to that job. Does that make sense? We do it with people and relationships. I'm committed to love you. And it slightly derails. Now my commitment is to deal with you. Now my commitment is to figure out how to stay married to you. And then now I'm just mad at you. Because we've allowed our commitment to get derailed by all sorts of things, and we can go into that for 6 more months, what's going to affect you. But all I'm saying is be clear with your commitment, because your commitment should become a truly spiritually driven, good for your lifetime journey, your spiritual journey is going to come from your heart. And it's going to come out of you. It's not going to be put onto you. It's not going to restrict your freedom. It's going to enhance your freedom. So if you got stuff that's restricting your freedom and that you're committed to, that you're obligated to, that's a great word, obligation. Commitment turns to obligation real quick, doesn't it? Because we get derailed. Or because we've picked up that commitment unconsciously. Somebody's told us what to do. And we can do any action. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm not saying don't do yard work. I'm not saying don't pick up your trash. We can do any of those things. It's how our commitment's going to drive that and color that experience. Which brings me to the best part about commitment, and the one that usually scares everybody, the one that I think is super powerful. Showing up is 90% of it. You guys, any sports people out here, they know that availability is an ability. If you're injured all the time, you ain't no good no matter how good you are. If you can't play, doesn't matter how fast you are. Showing up is 90% of it, right? You ever lost a job and showed up every day? Probably not. You know? So showing up's a big of it, and then that's a part of this idea of the grind or of the toil or of the stuff we don't want to do because of our commitment. Our commitment asks us to do it. And that is there. The journey is filled with things and tasks and obstacles that you may not draw for yourself, but your Spirit's drawing them for you. And even on the commitments that come from your heart, you're going to have times of toil and you're going to have the grind. So you guys heard the term, the grind has changed a little bit, pop culture wise. But you guys know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the grind? The kids these days kind of get proud of the grind. Like, I'm a grinder, right? I can grind. I love that they take some pride in it. And then you've heard the daily grind. Oh, the daily grind. You guys know the energy differences between the daily grind of life and grinding. Grinding is somebody that's chosen consciously their commitment. So when the stuff is hitting the fan and when the work is hard, they can do it with their heart still going, their commitment still reading. They may get mad and get snippy, but it's not going to derail them because they've chosen that commitment. The grind, the daily grind becomes the grind, and I'm a grinder. You know, guys look back, they're accomplished, and they say, yeah, I can grind. I grind with the best of them. Because they know how to toil, and they've done it because the commitment came from them. When the commitment's put on us by other reasons or we've gotten derailed, the daily grind shows up. Daily grind again. You know, come home. How was it? You know. Same old stuff, different day. You know? It's that ability to not weather the storm, but function in the storm is the difference between a solid, heart-driven commitment and a picked-up commitment somewhere. And you're still going to have times with both. Let me read this out of the Aquarian. This may be able to make sense for you. This is, I say toil. Some of you know where I'm going with this. But Jesus is in India here. And he's been hanging out and teaching with the priests. And he's just hanging out. And it's on the Sabbath. Let's see. Holy day, not the Sabbath. It's a holy day for them. And he's just hanging out and he sees some people. India, this is important for my points. India's caste system, right? So there's certain levels of people that always do the same thing. Always serve, always do whatever. So Jesus sat beside a flowing spring. It was a holy day, and many people of the servant caste were near the place. And Jesus saw the hard-drawn lines of toil on every brow, in every hand. There was no look of joy in any face. Not one of all the group could think of anything but toil. And Jesus spoke to one and said, Why are you all so sad? Have you no happiness in your life?" And the man replied, "We scarcely know the meaning of that word. We toil to live and hope for nothing else but toil. And bless the day when we can cease our toil and lay us down in rest in Buddha's city of the dead." And Jesus' heart was stirred with pity and love. And these poor toilers, he said, "Toil should not make a person sad. Men should be happiest when they toil. When hope and love are back of toil, then life is filled with joy and peace. This is heaven. Do you not know that such heaven is for you?" Let me reread it. Jesus saw the hard-drawn lines of toil in every brow, in every hand, and there was no look of joy in any face. The man replied, "We scarcely know the meaning of that word. We toil to live, we hope for nothing else but toil, and bless the day we cease to live." Their commitments to the caste system, their thoughts are, "I am a toiler, always will be a slave, servant, etc." And their repetitive actions are committed to the caste system. And they're committed to, "I am less than, I have to die in order to be born up." That is a commitment they're going to take their whole life. It'll probably be the only commitment they ever make. Did they choose that from their heart? Every single social revolution started with somebody committing to something new. We think it's these little things, and they are. They're tiny. They're tiny, just things within us that explode to things that are way greater than us. And commitment is that. It's that. Change your thoughts and your actions to support. So if they're in the caste system, they're committed, and then Jesus goes down here and they say, "Well, why is this guy telling me all this weird stuff?" Toil should not make a person sad. Men should be happiest when they toil. When hope and love are the back of toil. What is Jesus saying? The commitment is to hope and love, not to toil. Happiness and toil. Whoa, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing paperwork. I'm cleaning the yard. I'm doing whatever. My commitments to hope and love are my commitments to a caste system. I've chosen consciously to commit to hope and love, or I've unconsciously chosen to commit to a caste system. Think about that. When hope and love are back of toil, then all of life is filled with joy and peace. This is heaven. Do you not know that such heaven is for you? I pose that question to all of us, and myself included. Toil is heaven, and it's available to all of us. Do we actually believe that? If we were committed, and if we watched our commitments and we got really healthy with our spiritual commitments, we might. We might. And that's really cool. I'll take might all day long. Because if you don't take might, will's never coming. Does that make sense? Seriously, the ability to catch your commitments, choose them, don't let them get derailed, and don't sacrifice your freedom. You can move mountains. Commitments can become, instead of a burden that we have to carry around or a long-term thing and a grind and toil, they can be the drop of water that creates the canyon. We got to allow the drop. We just got to keep dropping. That's all we got to do. That's a commitment. Keep dropping your water. Don't worry about how deep it's going to go, because it's going to be unexplainably deep. Let's go then. Take a deep breath. We just want to envision a column of light going around you. rise up that column of light a little bit lighter, a little bit freer, a little bit less restricted every time we go up. Just raise up that light. Get out of your body, out of your stuff. And I want you to imagine a space. Space that houses your commitments. Whatever it looks like. Energy, physicality, whatever it comes up as, don't edit it. Allow your commitment locker to open. And we ask that one of our unconsciously chosen commitments step forth. Whatever comes to you. And in this space, just send it your love from your heart. See a column of light, fill in that unconsciously chosen commitment. Just fill it with love. That's all we're going to do today. You can re-choose it or choose it later if you want. But today we're just going to fill it with love. Because our commitment to love is stronger than all. God, in this space, we ask that you help us fill our soul and our spirit with commitments that are true for us. And give us the strength to enjoy our toil. And give us the happiness and the eyes to see that we are easily committed and can easily continue to drop water without worry of the final product. In our commitments, we find life and joy and God. Thank you for this opportunity. We just keep sending love to that commitment. And then we come back down, knowing that we can always pick up whatever we want again. We can send love to anything we want. And we can choose any commitment we want. But we want to choose it. Feel your feet on the floor. My personal prayer, God, I am grateful for this place, InnerQuest. I'm grateful for the continuing urge from my heart to just show up. And I'm grateful for everyone else who joins me. And so it is. Here you go. Good? Feel inspired? Yes. Good. Thank you.